Hey, what's up? It's Tuesday. I'm Jim here for The Rough Cuts, and today I will be talking about Starman. This is continuing my quest to review every movie that John Carpenter has ever directed, and so we fall on Starman. This film was made in 1984, the Voyager 2 space probe, which NASA launched into outer space with a gold record, and basically like a greeting, come check us out sometime. It has hello in every different language. It also has basic words from the English language, like about 100, so you can understand what to say and whatnot. Because NASA launched it, not Russia. This ball of light alien guy sees the probe and watches, their presentation and gets this amazing gold record that they have in there, and then he travels to Earth. His ship is shot down, and then he flies away from his ship, and he finds Karen Allen, who is mourning the death of her husband, who died I think 6 months before this. He sees all the pictures, I guess, and then transforms. Probably the best special effects sequence of the whole film. He starts off as a little baby, and then slowly morphs and grows into Jeff Bridges, who looks like her ex-husband, but isn't. And then he has her drive him to Arizona, where he's supposed to meet his alien spaceship to go home. And then he has these silver ball things, which he can use to attack people and explode things, heal people, and all sorts of stuff. They're really cool. There's kind of two stories behind this. The script of this film was at Columbia around the same time as E.T., and Columbia was like, well, we can't have two, alien visitation movies going on at the studio at the same time, so they let E.T. go, and E.T. went to Universal. This one took longer to get off the ground. The other kind of interesting thing about this is John Carpenter released the movie The Thing a couple weeks before E.T., or maybe a couple weeks after? I don't remember. But they were around the same time, and basically E.T. destroyed The Thing, because who wanted to see evil scary aliens when you can see E.T.? He was going to do the film Firestarter, which he didn't get to do, which probably would have, I assume, be a lot better. He had to do Christine, just to that was the only thing being offered to him. Then he came back. He was kind of like, he had a bit of clout after that, not a ton or anything. And he got offered Starman because he could work well with special effects and emotion. But this is more of John Carpenter as a work-for-hire director. This isn't a John Carpenter movie where he really developed it or anything, but I can still feel a Hawksian influence and kind of that Carpenter charm. The thing that really bogs it down is its kind of twist on the E.T. thing is that it's about adults. It's supposed to be more an adult kind of schmaltzy, what people thought of as a good Hollywood movie at the time. This is very studio controlled. It's not, some people have said there's not very much Carpenter at all, and I think that's really true. Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen almost feel like replacements. Karen Allen, I don't know, feels like Adrienne Barbeau should be in this part, but I kind of like Karen Allen more than Adrienne Barbeau. I don't think Adrienne Barbeau would have been that good, and I think Karen Allen's a lot hotter than Adrienne Barbeau. It's just those big eyes, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised this wasn't Kurt Russell and Adrienne Barbeau, because that seems to be more typical Carpenter casting, but this was a studio-run film. This is the only film John Carpenter's ever directed to be nominated for an Oscar, and it was for Best Leading Actor for Jeff Bridges. He didn't win. The next time he was nominated, he did win for Crazy Heart. Jeff Bridges is actually kind of annoying. I didn't really like his performance. He talks in this robot voice, I'm Jeff Bridges, kind of stuff, and talking bizarrely and all that. I really did not like his performance. I found it annoying. Eventually I can, I guess, relate to the character and follow the character, but I did not like what I was seeing at all. The sex scene in this is just, I don't really know what exactly they're doing, but it just looks like they're kissing each other really oddly. I just didn't really understand. It looked like some of the worst sex ever, or that they weren't actually having sex, which I'm pretty sure they weren't, by the way it was filmed. It was pretty the most unerotic sex scene I've ever seen. It was a little gross. It made me want to go ew, gross, stop kissing each other like that. Ugh. He did this because he knew it would put him in a better place. But it's sad because the early Carpenter, from Assault on Precinct 13 to The Thing, those are all kind of organically made by Carpenter, and they have this strong directorial voice on it. And it's sad because it's as 80s Hollywood got more corporate and more into blockbuster and merchandising, having these huge hits, I think it hurt him as a director. They kind of suppressed these directors who were really good. Starman is kind of bland. As good as it is, it's the best Air Supply record that could ever be, you know? I mean, it's still Air Supply. You might kind of like it. It might have been their edgier, weirder album, but it's still Air Supply. It's an alright studio picture from 1984, and that's really kind of all this movie is. I wish it was something more. I mean, it is kind of wedged in there between Christine and Big Trouble in Little China, but in a way I think it helped him be able to make Big Trouble in Little China. So for that alone, I guess it's alright. So if you have seen Starman and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments. And subscribe to The Rough Cuts if you haven't already. Subscribe to my main channel, which is in the info box below. Follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and potentially VHX. And support Earl Barrett Holloway's Kickstarter for his new comic he is doing. He did the picture at the beginning and the end of the video. And check out his Kickstarter so he can raise money to make a comic book. And that's it. See you next week.